Welcome to this videos guys. So in this video we are going to see how to earn using your assets. Many of us know what assets are, right? What is asset? Let's see the general definition. Asset is something that can be converted into cash quickly. That's simple. That's what asset is. Okay, you buy something, it gives you a good return and you can sell it quickly without any loss. That's what asset is. But how will you make sure your asset gives you a profit? See, there's a big button between, which is, do you know which asset should you collect or rather say buy in order to grow rich and wealthy? Which asset should you buy to grow wealthy? That's a big point. Saying that, let's move to next slide, which is there are two types of assets. There are two types of assets. One of it is appreciating assets and the second one is depreciating assets. Now, if you don't get this concept, don't get confused. Listen to me carefully. I'm explaining it very easily. Let's see. First, appreciating assets. See, simply what does appreciating asset mean? First of all, let's say for example, you bought something, some asset worth 1 lakh rupees. Okay, worth 1 lakh, you bought some asset and that asset after 5 years ends up becoming of 5 lakh. So that's an appreciating assets, means there is an increase in the value of the asset. That is appreciating asset. There is increase in the value of the asset. It's a profit for you. Depreciating asset is something, let's say for example, you bought a asset worth 1 lakh and then you are currently having it after 5 years, that is of 30,000. Now that's where the difference lies. Depreciating asset is one which goes down in value and appreciating asset is one which goes up in value. Now in this example already 5 years have passed and we know that the value of some asset is up and some is down, but how to know beforehand what will be the appreciating assets? Now let me make it very clear, it is not 100% guaranteed that you will always have appreciating asset. That is why you should invest in many assets. Some will end up going up, some will end up going down, and which will compensate each other and give you a net good return of 5 to 10 times in 10 years if your investments were made practically and after solid proofs and researches. Now, in order to know what are appreciating assets, let's move forward and let me tell you how to collect or rather how what are appreciating assets. See, there are standard appreciating investments. These are the investments that have the highest probability seen due throughout the history, that have grown exponentially and will continue to do so. First one is stock market investments and portfolios. Now, wait a minute. Let me make it clear. It has substantial risks involved, and also when you are buying a stock or any asset, please consult your financial advisor or make a research by yourself. Now the next question is, how do we research by ourselves? See, first of all, get deep into it and know. Let's say for example, let's take the example of stock market as it is. There are two stocks in front of you, a company which produces or manufactures petrol and the other one which is making electrical batteries. Now for the next 10 years, today you have to buy a stock for the next 10 years which will stay in your investment. So basically you will research petrol is not going to continue and rather its market size will go down in the next 10 years, whereas eco-friendly and batteries which are electrical will be situated in the car and the car will run on electricity. So rather you should go with electric batteries company. You should buy an electrical battery manufacturing company so that it ends up going up and you make a profit. So this is something that you should know, and I think whenever you buy a asset, please, whatever it may be, however safe it may be, please make some research and some sort of proof or data to back up your research, which tells why you are buying this and gives a foolproof clearance. When you have that clearance, that means you have a certain aim fixed, and when you have these both very clearly settled down, there is a very high probability your targets will be achieved. Moving on to the next one, it's property or land. Here by property or land, I refer to open space, or just open areas, or maybe commercial buildings, so that it generates a good revenue for you if you are renting out commercial spaces, which may be a bit expensive, but by saving up huge sum of money you can do that. And also what I want to tell you is that please buy a land only when the market is down. See, there is one misconception: people buy lands when it is at a boom, only buy land when it's at a great discount. When there is massive fall in the market, that is the time when you go and purchase that land, because when there is a fall no one is willing to buy it. And if you have the money saved up, you have that opportunity and you can cash out that opportunity. If you buy it at the cheap prices, when the market falls down, you can easily sell it when market recovers. That is how you can make profit from investments. For this thing you need a lot of patience. Whenever buying assets, you need to buy them at the right price, sell them at the right price. That is how you are going to become wealthy. So moving on to next points is few assets to avoid. Now let me make it very clear. Under certain circumstances you have to talk about these assets which you have to avoid under certain circumstances, and the only one that comes here is house. Now before criticizing me or going by my side, listen to me carefully. Open your eyes and ears and listen to me. See, basically let's talking about a house. Let's say for example you have money to buy the house, then you can buy it, there's no problem. You need not pay any interest, which reduces your cost up to an extent. But the next point I'm coming to is that, see, if the house installment that you are paying monthly, the equal monthly installment EMIs that you're paying monthly for your house is somewhere around 40 to 50% of your income, it's not good for you. Let's say for example in a month you are making 1 lakh, and the house mortgage or loan is of 50,000 rupees per month. There's no use of it, because you will end up with very less cash for your expenses and emergency funds maybe. And if the asset does not end up going in up in value, then your those days in which you struggled for paying up that house will be of no use. Of course, definitely you can take a house loan if the house loan is somewhere around 10 to 12% a month of your whole money that you are earning monthly. Because unfortunately if you end up losing your job, which is your security, or your business goes slow for few days, then it will be a burden over you. There is a concept called as prudence concept, in which is used in accounting, where you consider everything as a loss for yourself. Anyways, we'll come to that concept later on. Here what I mean to say is that only buy a house on loan if it is very low on your income. Actually, if it is costing you very low as compared to your income, because your income may keep rising but the house loan won't. So try to make it as minimum as possible, and don't make it such that you are not able to maintain the living standards that are required, and if there is any unfortunate, you won't be able to handle it. So these are certain circumstances under which you should avoid a house. If you have no problem and the conditions are satisfying, and you can see that the house's value will grow up, definitely there is no problem, you can buy the house. That's very correct at that moment. So, and also one point that I wanted to touch at the last was that, please, if let's say for example for asset, what an asset is something that gives you profit. Let's say word profit for after a certain period of time. So if you buy anything, let's say anything is your asset until and unless it's giving you profit. So you buy it at low, you sell it at high, and that's your asset. Maybe may it be whatever time period. If there is some asset which does not count on a huge scale, but is, you know, it's available and you can do it, then just buy it for low and sell it for high. Make those trades and try to make yourself wealthy. That's what we wanted to cover for today's video. If you liked it, thank you very much, and please go and subscribe that channel if you haven't done it yet. I highly recommend you because we will be bringing on so nice videos very often. And also, if you like the video, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And this line's credit goes to Graham Stephan, which is, I think, very nice line. That's why I took it from him. And also, if you want to comment any question, query, please feel free to do that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please don't wait anymore. Go and subscribe that. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you would have liked it.